at Fair Iron Customs. I'm Michael. I hope everyone is having a great week. This will actually be the third week since I posted anything. The wife and I went out of town for Memorial Day, and I just didn't want to announce that to, the whole internet and the world. We went down to Nag's Head for the weekend and had a pretty good time. While we were down there, I ended up coming down with something. It's the fourth time I've come down sick this year, and that's kind of a downer, but you probably still hear my voice, a little bit of congestion. So I'm getting over that. When we came back, I ended up putting the fuel pump on the engine and got it running. It still got some problems. I'm thinking that before we get this thing on the road and running, I'm probably going to go ahead and pull the motor down, get the heads reworked, and if it needs pistons, put pistons in it, or, rings and bearings, or whatever. We're not going to go all out and get crazy. It runs pretty good, but it is kind of like it's popping through the right side a good bit, and everything. So like I was saying, it's running pretty good. And I've actually been pouring a little Marvel Mystery Oil in the carburetor every time I fire it up, just to get some lubrication on the top of the cylinders, help get in there, free them rings up that have been sitting for no telling how long. It actually, like I said, it's got a bad, that was one of the problems when we were trying to fire it up in the last video, was I forgot I had a big vacuum leak on the intake manifold. Anyway, that's not what this video is about. Let's get into it. Alright guys, let me catch y'all up to where I'm at. I took several days off. Still trying to get over this, whatever it is, I'm still coughing up mess. Excuse me. I did come out here Sunday for a little while and work. Show y'all what I did. I didn't turn the camera on. I went ahead and welded the bungs and the arms. Did I get them the wrong way? No, I'm tripping out. This kit with the Johnny joints in it. Johnny joints, is that right? Johnny joints, I think that's right. What it is a spherical bearing that's rebuildable. This is heavy duty stuff like off-road use. My intentions was to put the bags on these bars. That's the reason why I'm using this heavy wall steel. I'd already bought it, so I'm going to continue on. But I welded the bungs in. It was a kit. One is left-handed. I don't know if you can see most of the time on your joints. Focus. Most of the time on your joints, you'll have a line on your left-handed threaded stuff. I don't know if you can see that. Anyway, but there's little lines on the nut and a little line here that lets you know that it's left-handed thread. What else I did was I drilled a 1-inch hole all the way through the chassis, and I put these 1-inch pipes. It's 1-inch outside diameter, 1/2 inch inside diameter, all the way through the chassis. That will have to be finished welded when we blow the chassis apart. I don't know if you can see it on the inside. And that's going to give me a place to start making my wishbones, radius rods, hairpins, whatever you want to call them. They're all the same thing. If you have a single pivot in the back and it's mounted solid to the front axle, it's like a radius rod. Hairpins, split wishbones, anything that's made up for a rat rod, and we're going with some kind of rat rod looking stuff y'all will see as we go along. It's how they all operate the same way. I also got the pads made to mount to the axle, so we have a starting point here and a starting point back there. So I'm going to get the bolts, and we're going to mount these rods up, get them leveled, and start trying to build this thing. All right, guys, I leveled up the arm with, not with the floor, not with level, but I leveled it with the chassis. And this is level at ride height, or a little higher than ride height, it will be fine. And so what I need to do is cut a piece to run from here down to there. This is all going to make sense, so y'all just stick with me. This is going to make sense. I'm boxing all this in, but this will all make sense in the end. So I've got it set up in the mill. As I said, guys, you do not need to have a mill to do this. You can do this in a drill press. You can do this with a drill. You just got to take it slow and easy. You do not need angular cutters. You can use regular hole saws. It's just going to take a lot longer, and they're a pain in the butt. Guys, that's absolutely what it scary. Alright, guys, I got these bars tacked into place heavy. I like where they're at. I set the caster on the axle at 6 degrees. Looks like if you measure to the spring perch is at 6 degrees. I checked at the kingpin the best I could. It's 6 degrees, so that means the truck had no caster in it at all, which doesn't surprise me. It's hard to turn without power steering with a lot of caster, so it's going to be interesting to see how this thing drives. So tomorrow we'll come in and we're going to figure out what we're going to do about our bottom bar for our radius arm, and probably go ahead and try to get the side and get these radius arms completely done. Next week I want to start working on the bags, so we're going to jump into that tomorrow.